Well, as you can see, we needed some siding, and even though I am going to try and salvage this barn, we went ahead and pulled the siding off so we could match the house. And here we've filled in the vast majority. We still have a little bit above there and some over here by the door to take care of, but for the most part we've got all the back secured, and doesn't look like much right now, but we're going to hit some of these joints with a belt sander, pressure wash the whole thing, put some trim on it. Up here around the soffits, we're going to go ahead and close that off with some 1x material so that our insulation doesn't come out, and to keep the critters out. But we've pretty well got it secured now on the inside, and even though I've still got a little bit of siding to mill, we're going to do that tomorrow, maybe, I hope, and then try and get these overhangs taken care of and get everything wrapped up on the outside so that we can go ahead and start getting the wiring and plumbing on the inside. Another thing, one of the things we didn't talk about is the status of the septic tank. Now, this house has been vacant for some time, and well, as things are, I decided that I would rather go ahead and have a new drain field put in than you know, just have the old one and end up with a situation down the road where I have to do it anyway. So I went ahead and called a guy, and they came out this past week and did my drain field for me, so we should be good on the drain field, and our septic system should be good to go. That way when we tie in with our updated plumbing, we won't have any issues. Well, we've done quite a bit of work. I want to go ahead and give you the tour of the outside of what we've done so far, so you can kind of get a little bit better understanding of where we're at. Still quite a bit of work to do, but it's coming along, and the house is basically secured, so I don't feel too terrible about leaving some materials here. I'm not going to leave too much here when I leave, but you just never know some of the neighborhoods. So far so good in this neighborhood. But anyway, let me give you the grand tour of the outside. Alright, so here we are in the front of the house. You see some of the places here where we've got some joints in our siding, but we've basically filled everything in. We still got to put some trim on. This whole porch here on the top is coming off. It's going to be moved down to underneath the door and windows. We're going to gable it on the front to bring it out. I think that'll make it really nice. But we've got all of our windows in. We just need to get some trim on them. Moving around to the other side, you can see we still have some work to do on the porch, but such is what it is. And here's the gable. Like I said, we still have some work to do, but it's coming right along, and we've managed to get, you know, most of the siding wrapped up. Walk back here, you can see the back of the house where the siding has all been filled in and replaced. A little bit another angle here, maybe a little better, maybe not, but got the, like I said, the siding is pretty well wrapped up. Still have to do some trim on it, but and we still have to close up the gables on the roof. You'll see here on this end we're missing quite a bit of wood here, but that's going to be milled. I've got the lumber on my truck, and we'll be taking that to the shop, and we'll be milling it so to match the profile, so we can just fill this stuff in. Got some termite damage here. when we pull this off, we'll end up cutting all this out, cutting out the rotten and termite damaged wood and replacing all that. That's going to be in the next week or so, hopefully. Let's see, we got some siding up there that's coming loose. We'll have to take care of that as well, but all in all, I'm satisfied with the progress we're making. It's looking pretty good for a 70-year-old house. And here's my 1x8s. Went ahead and got pressure treated because that's all that was available at the local lumber yard. For $11 a board. It's not bad. They wanted 37, I believe. At the only place that I could find it to match the profile, and if I wanted that, then it was a 10-hour round-trip ride, so that's not an option. 10 hours drive plus triple the price. I can mill these in the shop and I'll have some siding that matches pretty well within just a few minutes, maybe a couple hours. And now this is the profile we're actually going to cut. We're going to cut this round part here in, and then we're going to rabbet this edge in here so that it overlaps. We're going to do all that on the table saw. Okay, here we got our stack of 1x8s that we're getting ready to run through the saw and mill down. And it's just flat all across this surface. It's just square sides. It's just typical 1x8 you buy at Home Depot, which is actually where I bought this. 12 foot long, and it's pressure treated, so it'll last a whole lot longer than the stuff that was originally on the house. Alright, we've run some test pieces through here, and what we started out with was we put us a fence on here at 45 degrees to the blade. And we got the blade down real low. You have to raise it up about 1/8 of an inch on each pass until you get the thickness off that you want. And we're going to get started. This is a result of running them through at a 45. The next step, once we get this milled out here, is we need to take this little high spot here off. And so you see right here, we run it through the table saw to take that little bit off. You can do that with a router, but unfortunately I don't have one to work with right now. So we've got this tall rip fence right here we built and set the depth of the blade and the spacing. So we just run them through and take that little tip off. And there we have the finished product. We got our cove cut in right here. We got our rabbet on the back side, so it's going to overlap up here on the top. And do this 20 more times. Alright, we finished putting up the last of the siding on this gable end. We still have some trim to do, but siding matched up pretty well. It was a little bit taller, but we managed to work it out. Got this all closed up though, so we can secure the house, and we'll be ready for some electrical work shortly. Still have just a little bit to do on this back corner and get that wrapped up, and then we'll be done with the siding.